Welcome to our daily devotional. I am Pastor Giovanni. Today we are reading from the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 16, verses 21 through 28. Let's read. From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and on the third day be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. "Never, Lord," he said, "this shall never happen to you." Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. Truly I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." It's the end of reading. Let's go track through this passage. Here in today's reading, we see Jesus, for the first time in Matthew's gospel, making explicitly known to his disciples the details of his mission. That his mission is centered in Jerusalem, and that's where the temple is. That's where the sacrifices happen. And that he's going to suffer at the hands of the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law. That he will be killed and on the third day be raised to life. So the disciples knew this at this point, but they didn't really comprehend it. And Peter here wants nothing to do with this plan, the mission of the Lord Jesus. So they didn't really understand the meaning of this plan. Jesus says, "Never, Lord, this shall never happen to you." And here, this is where Peter is rebuked by Jesus. Jesus says to him, "Get behind me, Satan." It's a harsh rebuke. We shouldn't think that Peter is possessed in any way, but that his plan is a direct conflict. Peter's words are in direct conflict with Jesus' mission. And the rock, Peter, becomes a stumbling stone for Jesus. He says, "You are a stumbling block to me." So Peter has to change this idea that he has, because we do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. So we have to see that faith in Jesus requires a whole new worldview. It requires a Christian worldview, a worldview where we take God at his word and we see things by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. On verse 24, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me." So that has to do with priorities, prioritizing the Christian life. Taking up your cross is really a call to, at the last, to live for Jesus and not to reject Jesus. And we see, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul? And this was a temptation of Christ in the wilderness when Satan said, "I'll give you all this if you bow down and worship me." And Jesus passed that test. And here he's encouraging us to see the bigger picture, that worldview, that Christian worldview that we need. The Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels. So this speaks of the second coming. Then he will reward each person according to what they have done. So according to what they have done, in this context, is according to what they have done in the context of living for Christ in the face of persecution, in the context of not trying to save their life, but living for Christ. Then verse 28 can be problematic. Truly I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Well, this probably doesn't speak of the second coming because it says some who are standing here. This is interpreted various ways. Some say this has to do with the transfiguration. Some who are there, including Peter, James, and John, who are there, they see Jesus transfigured, not too, in just a little bit. Or some have said this deals with the resurrection. Some there will witness the resurrection, and then Jesus coming in his kingdom that way. It can allude to the second coming, the parousia. But overall, our verse here today is a call to live for Christ. Take up your cross and follow me. So there's your call to action. Follow Christ, no matter the cost, because you have a greater life than the temporary. Live for the eternal. So take some time to meditate on today's gospel passage and see that Jesus makes known his mission and calls us to take part in his mission. God bless you.